Hey folks, Quill18 here, and welcome to another episode of Let's Play Hearts of Iron 4 as Communist Yugoslavia. We are about to do our invasion of Greenland over here. We've got a twin set of Marines going on. We've got a tiny little group of 4 Marines here who are currently complaining about lack of supplies, but I think that's going to be alleviated relatively soon as some of these naval bases kick in here. We can take another look at the supply map over here. Yeah, local naval base is limited to that, but it is growing quite quickly over here, so it should be okay. You have the do not engage. I just actually reshuffled a bunch of my fleets around. There we go. Let's go ahead and fix that. Just to try to... We don't actually need to, say, guard this sea zone over here, so we're trying to distribute things a little bit better. We do have some damaged fleets. So before the invasion happens, I'm sure the fleets are going to have to repair themselves and get going. Are we, in fact, queued up to do... Why can't I click on this to open the construction screen? Seems a little bit odd. Oh, you're already queued up to the max. That's probably why. So I'm going to try to get some... I'm just queuing up the max naval bases over here, because it doesn't really cost us anything in terms of civilian repair at this point. And it's going to be quite handy to have a multiple good naval bases here, just for whatever. It's not relevant, but it's cheap and it's fast to build, so who gives us flying fig? East Africa, air superiority. That's fine. Everything is stable, I think, everywhere in the world, except, of course... Let's not talk about Southeast Asia, because it's such a stupidity of stupidities. Oh my god, nope, I got real excited there. I thought the Soviets might actually be able to retake a port over here, but that's never going to happen. How's the actual progression here? You're still waiting to arrive. That's going to be fine. We're unlocking random tech that we probably won't put into play. It's not that maintenance companies aren't useful. They actually can be quite powerful for things where reliability matters, like tanks, for example. But I think I'm perfectly fine with our distribution of things. What are you waiting for repair? It's right over here. Now, right now, this repair is going to take super long because it's not a high enough base. Well, actually, it's surprisingly okay. But yeah, those are still building up. Convoy interdiction, yeah. So we don't have any subs. Well, that's not true. We are building some subs. Do we have actual... sub-fleet going on. One whole submarine over here. Excellent. And convoy escort to convoy escort. These are not... you actually don't have a mission, truly. And you are actually repaired. So what I'm going to do is... I'm going to have you double up. I'm going to have you park in Connaught, because it's already a level 10 base. And I'm going to put you on convoy escort here, here, and here as well. So we'll double up on this because this is where our big invasion is going to happen. We need to make sure we can actually land in Greenland, establish a base over there, and then we're going to land in North America. I mean, I think we could... It's a little bit weird with the sea zone. I think we could actually go ahead and land directly there, but the stepping stone's a little safer. So... Oh, good. Our tiny marine group is going right now. Because they were going to be fast. We are prepping the large marine group over here, but it was going to take several days. So that's the backup. If this port is defended, these 4 divisions are going to get knocked out, and then the 24 will come into play. But I'm going to use this later on. I'm going to use this more often, the sort of overlapping, because this way, in case it's defended, we're already prepping a large invasion. But if it's not, then we can very quickly just grab that port and then move forward, which is the hope over here. Battle Cruiser Mark II tech is done. Is that... Because we're researching this. It's literally all of the ship tech as well. And these are all researched. Yeah. Why are these green and these are... I guess it's because it's naval versus infantry type stuff. Yeah, I guess so. Here, we'll go ahead and get the logistics companies. And the logistics company's quite nice. Oh, see, totally undefended. That's great. So, first, let's go and instruct these fellas to go and offensive line... Through there. You're going to take all the provinces? How come it's not showing me the preview? Oh, first of all, you still have your old naval invasion, which always screws everything up. Front line. I'll give you spearhead. Not that it actually matters one way or another. Go ahead and run that. And just in case, I'm going to explicitly tell one guy to move over there, but it should go and claim everything. So that's going to be swell and lovely. We may want to use this as a base for some sort of invasion. So we've got that. Control-Shift. Throw it up to the front of the queue. So, again, this is fine. These go really, really, really fast, and it's going to give us some tools to go ahead. I think we can still probably mount the invasion from Connaught, though. So these guys obviously have to be reset. That's going to be okay. So your new naval invasions, you're going to take off from here. That is where you are, right? Yes, okay. You're going to take off from here. And... There's not going to be much supply up here, but it's probably the safest. Actually, this port is on this sea, and that's the important thing. It's possible that the U.S. has more troops in position to defend than over here. This gets us on the mainland right away. I think I'm going to focus my primary invasion force on the mainland, and we can have you guys spread out like that. Hit enter to lock you in. Confirm, if we can read somewhere on here, that it actually says 24 divisions. Because sometimes they don't get assigned properly just because of the way it clicked, but I guess, I don't know. Yeah, I mean, the invasion's big enough. They must clearly be put in there. I'm going to tell them to go whenever that option presents itself. So that's going to be okay. I've got these Marines over here. I'm going to plan a new naval invasion for these guys. Trash that. So that group of 7, that's a Canadian reference, is probably going to plan that invasion. You can probably spread out a little bit and see what we can land. We might want to have everyone go on there, but we might be able to get us around and then hit from multiple angles, and that wouldn't be too shabby. So we're going to hit enter, lock that in, and again, you can go whenever. North Atlantic. Oh, hold on. Cancel this. Because you don't actually have, we don't have a naval presence on that side. So instead, hit that and that. There we go. That should be okay. And sufficient. So we're going to triple up. I'm going to plan an invasion for these guys as well. Maybe a backup to one of these ports, something that can happen a little bit faster. So we'll see how that goes. So we've got that. We don't have an airport here. That would be really nice. And actually, we're not going to be capturing any airports anytime soon either, I think. No, there must be airports here. There must be airports and we're just not seeing them because we don't have the intel. There's no way. Yeah, that must be all that's going on. Okay, fair enough. Good. So yeah, we'll clean this up. I mean, we've denied some bases for them too. They don't have that. I don't really expect any naval invasions. It probably means, okay, this African response group isn't quite clear. These tanks here, which were defending Europe, we may not need them here anymore, or we may not need as many. We can ferry them over. The thing is, we've got, if I recall correctly, we've got a bunch of mechanized. We've got our modern tanks. We've got a lot of those. Yeah, what's almost certainly going to happen is after our naval invasion lands here, we're going to convert these guys over to tank divisions. And we do have convoy escorting all the way through, so we should be able to get resupplies over there. We'll have to land, park ourselves probably for a couple of weeks for the supplies to switch over. Maybe a little bit longer than that, but I don't expect that they can respond in force over there. We're going to get all of these to be our tank divisions, and then we're just going to push forward with basically pure tank divisions. Since the tank divisions are like 50% mechanized infantry, wow, how do we keep having these free things? You know what we're going to do? We're going to throw down some... I'm going to queue up like max level airbase over here. Oh, I can't because there's too much of it counts as foreign territory. Then hold on. Just gotta wait for these guys to move. It's quite slow. It's rough terrain and not a whole lot of infrastructure here. I did queue up the naval base, which is good because airplanes do need supply. But yeah, we'll build a big air base over here just in case we need that as an option for strategic nuking, which is gonna happen pretty soon here. Is that enough terrain? Do we control enough now? Air base. There we go. I'll just queue up a max level. That's going to be fine. Not that it... yeah, we've got enough factories. Like, we got a ridiculous number of factories. It's insane. I guess we'll queue up some radar, too, because, yeah, look at this. Civilian factories all the way down over here, so that's going to be excellent. So just in case we need it, the radar factory or things do help us control these seas as well and keep an eye on things. There's definitely some naval presence going about for things. Let me take a look at my navies here. You are docked. Are you actually... well, you do have orders, though, right? If we mouse over here, yes. These are my subs, which don't have orders. We probably want more of a critical mass for our subs. Or do we? Do we want to put you out somewhere? For example, let's say I set you as Greenland as your base, and then tell you to do convoy raiding. I'm not sure we're going to do it right on the coast, because they might have more radar and spotting. I was going to say, you know, just cut off the Atlantic, but where would they be supplying convoys to? Nowhere, really. I could consider moving my subs out over here and see if we could blockade Japan. That's not the worst idea. Level 8. So, let's say I do this. And let me rename this fleet to Sub Fleet 1. I mean, it might be risky getting them up there, but what the heck, right? Let's get ourselves a new admiral for this. So you're going to be doing... So you're based out of Vladivostok. And you're doing a new convoy rating here, here, and here. I don't know if this part's that important. That's going to be fine. And then... I mean, a lot of these subs might just all die, but we'll see. These subs, instead of deploying to Brittany, you're going to deploy directly to Subfleet. I think you're still going to get built... I don't know if you'll instantly teleport into the fleet, or if it'll build you from the closest port, and then you'll travel over. I don't know what the actual mechanism for that is. Trade situation is kind of poopy on the tungsten, but... I mean, I guess we could ask for a little bit more over here. There you go. One more from Portugal. Sure. And, what, we still have free civilian factories? Because all the repairs are finishing up. You know what? Just chill. I don't need more military factories. I don't need that. We'll probably queue up a bunch of construction jobs when we do finish our landing over here. So you guys are... Oh, nearly done. Nearly done, then we'll plan the next invasion here. I suppose what we could do is, instead of planning another invasion with these Marines, is I could preemptively convert them over to tanks and then just ferry them across when we've got a foothold. That might not be the worst idea I've ever come up with. I mean, I suppose it would be hard to be the worst idea, since I come up with so many bad ones. Because, I mean, we don't really have the naval presence, I think, to, like, establish sea dominance over here right now and then, you know, start an invasion somewhere else. And especially not with 4. You know what? I think that's what I'm going to do. So, you have no orders, which is great. I'm going to tell you guys to move over to the province with the naval base, so you can ferry out of that. And I think I will go and convert you guys over to heavy tanks. We've got more than enough equipment for everything. We even gained some manpower out of this. Not that we have a manpower problem anymore. We're going to do that, and you are going to restart your training so that we can bring you up to the next level once again. I like that idea a lot. We're having resistance to occupation. That's fine. I mean, I suppose... Oh, yeah, we're building a crap ton more heavy tanks, which I want to let them train up as much as possible before deploying them. Because I think, like, if we deploy them, we can exercise them, but then we get attrition that uses up some of our equipment. I think as long as they're training in the production queue, then we can get them up to regular without that being a problem. I have not given them a location set, because that way I'll get a pop-up when they're ready, as opposed to them just deploying. I guess we'd get an error about, like, oh, we have unassigned divisions. One way or another, as long as we got a pop-up. So, oh, Africa, let's take a look over here. Everything is still cool. So I probably don't need quite this many tanks to beat off a invasion here in Africa, but... I don't know, it's making me feel a little bit more secure to have this. I'm actually going to split these guys up and grab, like, 4 of them a little higher up here. Although we don't have a quick and easy response over here. Most likely, the U.S. would have a problem doing an invasion. Who controls this? Republican Spain. Excellent. Groovy. So, Brazil, how are you there, bro? 51% communist. Okay. I mean, just if we flip them actually communist doesn't mean they're actually going to join us, of course, but it's nice in theory. Go back to speed 5. Chugga, chugga, chugga. It's funny how it, like, turns so much darker when you get close here. It's a different shader thing. I mean, that's without a day-night cycle, right? Because this is with day-night cycle on. That's weird. Either way, I don't get the swoopiness. Is it because I'm on speed 5? Oh, there we go. Speed 4, we get that. Speed 5, yeah. Okay. Do you get no day-night cycle on speed 5? I guess that's the case. They must have changed that at some point, because I feel like they definitely used to have that before, and it would go into full, like, seizure mode. Okay, we got a battle in the Sea of Japan. That's probably our... Okay, subs trying to sink some things. Oh, there's some Soviet subs here, too. Very cool. We've got airplane stuff. Eastern Canada. Oh! Well, Jesus, I've been doing so much talking, I missed this. Any chance you could do that? You know what you're going to do? You're going to go and just grab this port over here, which is undefended. So rather than go and attack while you have no supply... So that part of the invasion did fail. Maybe I should have had everyone land in this zone, but that's okay. We're going to capture this. And... encourage you to go that way. And I'm encourage you to finish that up. We're going to capture this, and then we can use this base to get in some supply. We'll have to reposition our fleet. So speaking of fleets... I might want to just redo these. Okay. Naval-wise. So, we got 3 people that are hanging out in the western approaches, which is obviously no good. Alright, you know what? Yeah. Let's go and... Can I bulk select you guys and do what I want? I know you're still repairing, but... Halt? Okay. Now, that's the more significant fleet. How much repair are you actually having to do? Oh, no, you're fine. I think there's still a little scratch on the Super Heavy. But that should be okay. It's still just level 2. This is level 4. We could set this as a home base in a second, but that might be a little bit risky. Tell you what, this Connaught will be your home base. But yeah, you're going to convoy escort. And we can't do that one yet, huh? Oh, you still had your old orders put in. Here, here, and say here. Although, again, that'll probably change as soon as we grab this. But for now, it's going to ensure that things go through. Normal repair priority. And engage at will. So, this guy might turn around and start repairing instantly, but that's okay. So, next up, there's... Okay, so you're one of our big fleets. This is the other big fleet. Also parked in Connaught, or based out of Connaught, which I think is okay. So, you're going to do... Do I even want to do this? Or, you know what? I'm going to get you to focus on here, because we'll deploy one of the fleets a little lower down the seaboard. That's going to be okay. And then this guy here, relatively light fleet, very well suited, I would say, to doing convoy escorts here. So that completes that. We might want a presence in here, because it's a possibility we're going to try to ship resources across that way. So our smallest fleet of just destroyers here, which has probably been building and been unassigned. You're operating out of Normandy, which is going to be fine. I'm going to get you to do something like this, because you can actually see the supply routes. We don't actually have this supply area guarded. I don't expect an attack there. I wonder if that'll interfere with our ability to send troops across. But we do have vision, so I think it's going to be okay. I could also split off some of these dudes, which might not be a terrible idea. Like this fleet here, which is not in the most dangerous zone. So I'm going to create a tiny fleet of destroyers. I will set you up here and put you on convoy escort here, here. Maybe the North Sea. How about that? Alright. That should cover a lot of things. And there is an airbase over here, which currently has a lot of enemy planes. But that will be our airbase, and we can start running emissions out of there, which is going to be beautiful. I could also, as like an emergency, build a naval base over here to get some extra stuff in, but I think that's going to be okay. Naval base. Do you not have one? Was it just a dockyard? Oh, maybe. There we go. Start building a naval base over there. And it doesn't take very long at all. July the 6th. So, well, just over a month. Oh, because we're scrapping the barrel. To build the first base over here to make sure we've got some supplies. Oh! That's, yeah, the St. Pierre and something, which is actually, I was going to say, owned by France. Even today. I thought that was all part of the same province. That complicates things slightly. We've got planes, but they won't be able to get supplied. We've got to go and bop that. I don't suppose... I know you have no supplies here. I'm going to cancel all your orders. Okay. Can you... Okay, you can. Alright, get over here. We're going to get you to try to attack there. It's probably not going to work out because you've been so goddamn weakened. But there's a certain sense of desperation here. Kind of wish I still had these Marines. But it doesn't look like they're going to attack. We can probably hold this, honestly. You know what? Never mind. We're not going to attack. I will park everyone over here to defend a bit, but we can probably wait until that naval base starts to spawn up, and then we'll be okay. Then as soon as we get naval base presence, then we can start to ship some airplanes out of here, and it'll be fine. It'd be great to deny more of these dockyards, because again, that would prevent more ships from going across. So they've got bombers that are hitting our convoys here, but overall, we should be all right. There we go. We're starting to get some airplanes. So what we're going to do is grab a whole bunch of probably all fighters. You know what? Well, let's go ahead and put in like 100 naval bombers. And then like 500 jet fighters. Put them all here. Normal. Yeah, you got to intercept in case someone's trying to bomb our ships. Naval strike and port strike if something presents itself, actually, because that's a really good way to finish off some stuff. We have free dockyards. Now, we still have a ridiculous amount of convoys, which is great. And I think at this point, carrier. Hold on, we're going to put in, what am I looking for? Heavy cruisers. And yeah, deploy to Fleet 1 by default, and we'll figure out the rest. Let's say maybe some more sub-production, but I like the heavy cruisers with the aircraft carriers. I don't know if we're building... Are we building our carrier-type planes? These are regular naval bombers. I'm going to swap over to carrier naval bombers, which take a few more resources. Not really reset that completely. Takes a few more resources. They can be used for regular ones as well, but then it's an option. And I'm going to cut out 2 of these jet fighter queues, because we do have a ridiculous amount of them. And instead, we're going to put in carrier fighters. I could do a redesign on them, but I don't think it's really going to be required. So I'll just make sure that we're starting to accrue that stuff. We've got some bank, probably, that we've mostly claimed by taking over nations. But yeah, we'll get that a little bit better. So that, again, July the 6th or something like that, that should come into play and be A-okay. So our big invasion here, how you looking? Okay, ready to go soon. I think that'll get before the end of the episode, unless time starts to slow down a whole bunch. All right, Africa, still looking good. Middle East, still looking good. You're good. You're... Oh, you did retake that. Well, congratulations. The Soviets are actually starting to do something maybe a little bit. New battleship, I don't think we've got a plan to build any battleships. You're done. Am I going to research heavy fighters? No. All the doctrine is done unless I want to swap over. Oops. Are we, like, literally 100% finished? I mean, I don't want... Here, I'll throw in some... the option of having anti-air modern tanks. But modern tanks are just, like, the best. I'm not going to build, like, super heavy tanks, because I think they'd be a step backwards. They might, strictly speaking, I'd have to check the stats. And it might be worth, you know, just out of curiosity. Like, what are the defenses on this? Oh, you have to click. Hang on a sec. We're having things happen. First, you research that. Large ships on low strength, so there's some attacks there. Naval invasion of Greenland coming in. You're normal. Are you? Large ships on low strength? Is this not the strength? Maybe something just got sunk? Oh! Heavy cruiser over here. I tell you what, detach and repair now. I don't know what you're doing solo over there. It's not really where we want you to be. Come on, 5 more days. Alright, holding this. 5 more days, both for the invasion from our giant army into Labrador here, but also for the naval base over here to finish. These guys will start to get in their supplies trickling in. We'll be able to start deploying some planes soon as well. How's the air situation over here? We've got our fighters. They've got a lot of bombers. There's our naval bombers as well. So, I mean, we don't have air superiority, and we don't have much of the way of radar coverage yet, because, yeah, that's just level 2, so it's not big enough. And the radar is, like, in this entire state, so we don't get to position it, say, on the coast over here. But once it hits max range, it should be okay. Naval combat over there, that's fine. So, there you go. You've got that. So, y'all, I could actually get this extra dude to come over here. You guys are actually being supplied now, which is great. And I can't seem to, like, make a front line over here, which is a little bit annoying, because I can't plan something. But let's go ahead and get everyone to clump up. And we can probably go and take that thing. The Soviet Union have sent some planes over here. I guess that's fine. I'm not going to put any more planes right now because that might eat into our supply count. Because, yeah. It's a little bit harsh. With all those planes in there, it's eating up the supply, so I don't want to go too crazy. Oh, yeah. So, defense 10, breakthrough 84. Oh, yeah, no, the modern tank is strictly better even than the super heavy. We could start researching anti-air just for cuz. Really not much point to it, though. But it'll give us something to click on. Alright, there's the 24 Division Army ready to go. You guys are probably done... Oh, you're not quite done training. You're also having some supply problems. Which... Because that's not just attrition. It's actually out of supply. Your infrastructure is kind of pooped. It's probably just damaged or something, but we'll add in a little bit in the queue. That's alright. And I'm going to get you to stop here because we're going to get you to ferry across over here soon. We may decide to exercise some of these guys over here after they flip over to tanks, because of course some of their experience points will be reset at that juncture. So you guys are all in position here. Can you... Excellent. I mean, again, they'll still have a naval base here, and we'll probably want to plan... I think these guys might navally invade those guys. Because, it would be maybe annoying to leave that there. In any case, this is a good place, I'd say, to put a cut in. Did we... It's weird that this guy's over here and these guys are over here. I did click on a few more provinces, though, so there's something going on there. We're going to put a cut in here, and I think the invasion of North America is officially going to land right at the start of next episode. Very excited! See you next time, folks. Bye-bye.